Okay, so you've heard me talk about this shiny object syndrome. You heard me tell you that some of the world's leaders in internet marketing have come out in recent times and pointed the finger at the shiny object syndrome as being one of the main causes of this catastrophic failure rate. 95% of people having a go at transforming their lifestyles and having, creating a better future through internet marketing are dismally failing. And they say that the main cause of that is the shiny object syndrome. So we really need to understand this extremely well, particularly if you're still in the 95% group. So what is it? Well, first of all, what's a shiny object? A shiny object is no more than tactics. So for instance, traffic tactics, driving traffic to your website, conversion tactics, list building tactics, social media tactics, and so on and so on. We could go on and on and on. There's a whole array of tactics that can be used by skilled internet marketers, but I emphasize the word skilled. Now, the difference here, and I'll go right to this fundamental point, between those who are elevated themselves into the top 5% group is that they totally understand how to use shiny objects. They know how to evaluate them, assess them, and make a decision very quickly as to whether it's relevant to them, and they can, put it to use and get a return on investment. Those who don't have that ability can become victims of the shiny object syndrome. And let me explain to you why. It's really about the order of things, and you might have heard me say before, and I'll say it many, many times over. At the whole heart of success, at the whole heart of creating wealth in any area, including online, is the fact that there's a certain way of going about things and a certain order to it. And you build upon each building block. And that's what eventually accelerates your results and things become exponential. So to put things around in the right way, and this is what people in the top 5% have done, is that they understand that the most fundamental thing they must have in place before they do anything else is to have a proper business. So if you don't understand what is required to set up a business that will allow you to effectively employ online marketing strategies and tactics, then you're not ready to handle these shiny objects. Now let's be very clear about what's behind this phenomenon and what's behind the problem it's creating. As soon as you come into this environment, as soon as you come online and start communicating with others, including the people who are the vendors and purveyors of the shiny objects, you're giving them permission to send things to you. We call it permission-based marketing, and this is really what online marketing is all about. Give them permission to send things to you. Well, what very quickly happens, and I'm sure you will identify with this, is that before very long, your inbox is being flooded with shiny objects. And you become very quickly overwhelmed by it, overpowered by it, confused by it, and before you can say, Bob's your uncle, you're chasing your tail. You're chasing down all these rabbits down burrows, and you really don't know where you're going. So the people in the top 5%, they're not doing that. So let's trace through exactly what they've done that you might not have done as yet. They've got very clear about their outcomes, what they want to achieve. So they have a very clear pathway that they're on, a trajectory to where they're going. And once they've done that, they have built the infrastructure around that plan, around that vision. And that infrastructure includes knowing what kind of products they're going to develop. It includes having done market research to know that there's going to be a good matchup between the products they're going to bring to the market, whether they are their own products or someone else's products that they're selling as an affiliate. So they know there's a demand out there. They've already done that, and this is all part of creating the business structure. They've become very savvy about the fact that you must grasp, and that is, you cannot succeed at a high level, and you cannot enter the top 5% group doing this alone. So they've understood that, and they've built up a team. Now that team could be people that work in an office with them, or it could be people they outsource or out-task to. That could be anywhere in the world, but they are all people who are selected according to certain skills and talents and abilities, so that you, the business owner, can focus and concentrate on the things that you are very good at and have other people do everything else. This is a critical aspect of business building. They've lined up strategies to support their vision. So they have strategies in place. Now strategies are basically the revenue drivers, and those strategies are built to ensure that over a period of time that they've mapped out, they're going to get to their destination. So they have a plan, they have a team, they have their strategies, they have the infrastructure, they have the mindset, because all the people in the top 5% have done work on their mindset. Because to have a mind that's not, and I say mind, I don't just mean what's in your conscious thoughts there, I mean in your subconscious as well. And if you come on board with us and study those 10 steps, you'll quickly see how critically important it is to transform your mindset into one that will totally support what you're doing. So now they have what I would call a solid functioning internet marketing ship that is in the harbor, now ready to sail out into the waters outside the harbor to the destination that they've selected. And that destination is, could be a project that they've selected. They're going to, and so achieving that is achieving the performance indicators that they've set for themselves for that project. And once they've achieved that, then they're ready to go to another level with it, either to escalate that particular business or to branch out to other ones. And that is what's called establishing a scalable business. And this is another fundamental point. You do not want to launch a business that hits a certain ceiling and then plateaus and can't go any further. It must have the ability to grow. Everyone in the top 5% knows this, and they set up their businesses accordingly. So that ship now that's in the harbor has a captain, which is you, that totally understands the ship, the destination, how to use all the equipment, the compass, everything. It's a ship that is solidly constructed so that in the ship it has its inner guidance system, the computer system that's going to keep it on track. And it's going to keep it on track because it's been programmed with the outcome that you're going for, and all the strategies and all the tactics and the team and everything else that needs to be coordinated is all inputted into that inner guidance system. And so, it will keep moving you back on track as you move through the challenges ahead. Captain needs a crew, needs a team, so that is in place. It's all ready to go. The captain and his crew need to know that they can hoist the right sails to pick up the right winds and deal with all the conditions. Those are the strategies. Now, as the ship is moving through, different conditions, some of those strategies need to be fine-tuned and adjusted or adapted, and they need help to do that. And that's where tactics come in. These are the shiny objects. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm pointing the finger, as others are, at the shiny object syndrome because the problem inherent in it is that people fall victim to it because they don't understand it. It doesn't mean that those who are sending out those shiny objects to your inbox are sending you something that lacks quality or value or inherent quality or value. Many of them do. Many of them are great products, so that in the hands of the right person, that captain of a solid, viable internet marketing business can make use of. And really, that's what they're designed for. The problem is they're being flung out into the hands of everyone. You know, they should have a big warning there saying, look, unless you already have established a solid internet marketing business and you're the captain of a seaworthy ship, don't pay attention to this. You're not right and you're not ready for it. But of course, most of them don't do that because they want to make a sale. And many of them are making money hand over fist by flinging out object after object after object. But I'm not here to criticize and point fingers or condemn anyone. I'm here to identify the problem that some of the top players in this game have pointed their finger at and said, this is a major problem stopping people getting ahead. So what we're doing here with Online Wealth Dynamics is we're out there in the marketplace finding out all the time what works, who's behind what works, what can we learn from that, and how can we package that up and deliver it to people who are still struggling in that 95% group, but who want to get out of that 95, out of that well, the frog well, into the sunlight where they can join the others at the table of the top 5%, where all the action is, where all the ability and potential for changing lifestyles exists. That's what we want to do. That's our mission. That's a whole reason for being here. Online Wealth Dynamics and its website, Getting Better Results Online, and its first program to get you on your feet so that you get stabilized and can then look ahead with the benefit of that knowledge that we have helped you with. And then you become what we call a strategic entrepreneur. The confusion is evaporated. The clouds have been removed from your eyes. And from that point onwards, you see clearly and you're equipped, you're battle ready. You're able now to be the master of your internet marketing ship and be able to know with confidence that you can take it outside the harbor and go for any destination you select.